Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about something very important in Playwright automation. We talk about advanced wait strategies. This helps your test not fail randomly, and it will make your test more stable like professional automation. So please watch this video until the end. I'm going to show you code little by little, step by step, and in the end we will run one full working demo test. If you skip in the middle, maybe you not understand final script. So when beginners start Playwright, they think the test is failing because Playwright is too fast. But actually Playwright already has auto-waiting. This means before any action like click, type or check element, Playwright waits for the element to be ready. So I can show you with a example action. Suppose let's say you are simulating a user clicking a login button. So before clicking, Playwright checks that the button is actually really visible and it is stable, not moving, and it is enabled and attached to the page. So many times we do not want to write any extra wait code here. This is very important point. But modern websites are dynamic. Data loads from API, the spinners show, and all the animations happen. In these cases, auto wait is not enough. In those cases, we need to use advanced waits. So the first case is when we click, when you click something on the page and it causes the page navigation. And if we just say await page.click login button, sometimes the next step runs before the page fully loads. So the better way is to write an enhanced script like this, where you write a promise and then you wait for the navigation to complete. So here we say wait for the navigation that happens because of the click. So when you click, it going to the next page. So wait for the navigation that happens because of this click. So Playwright, this makes the test much more stable. So it actually waits for the navigation to complete. And another wait is the page load state. So here is an example code, and what you can see is the network idle is the wait. So we are asking Playwright to wait until the network becomes quiet. So this is good for pages that load data after the first HTML. So that is an important feature in Playwright you can take advantage of. So it waits until the network settles down and becomes quiet. So use it in the HTML pages that load data. So you can wait for it and then you can proceed to the next line in the script. So this makes the test more stable. And the next is waiting for a specific element on the page. Suppose a page shows a spinner or a loading hourglass or any spinner, and you want to wait till the spinner disappears. So in this case, you can write your code like you can say page dot waitForSelector, and this is the HTML ID of the spinner. So here we are saying that the script needs to wait for the selector to be hidden. That means the spinner is no longer there on the screen. So this waits until the spinner disappears. This is a smart wait because this is on a real UI behavior. But instead of this, many beginners you do this, which is not a good practice. So they simply put a hard-coded 5 seconds, and this is just a sleep. So waitForTimeout is just a hard-coded time, and it's just sleeping, and it's not a good practice because maybe page loads in 1 second, and sometimes the page might take 6 seconds to load. So the test fails in that case. So please avoid any hard-coded or fixed timeout waits. Now more advanced topic. Sometimes the button click sends API request and the page updates after the response. So we can wait for that network response. So there is some async activity going on, and let's take a look at this. And here what we are doing is the test is going to wait for the correct backend response before moving forward. So it's going to check the status equal to 200, and we are going to do a response promise. So this ensures that the test will wait for the correct backend response of 200 before moving forward. So this is very useful for modern apps. So you can see the await response promise, and we define the promise here. So it's going to click on the load products link or button on the page, and it's going to wait for the API response to come back. So this API response might take 1 second, or sometimes we may get 5 or 6, sometimes even 7 seconds or 8 seconds to get the response back. So it waits for that response to come back, so we can have this kind of setup. And now another good practice is using the locator wait. Suppose you want to click on a button, and you cannot simply click on a button. You need to make sure that suppose let's say in this script I'm going to click on the checkout button. We are going to wait for we are defining the checkout button using the locator, which is the HTML ID, and we are saying that checkout button dot wait for the state is equals the state is visible. This means that this makes sure that the button is visible before we click on the button. So this is another good practice. And okay, now we slowly build a real life example. So stay with me. So first we open the site, and we are going to show you a full working script here. And here we go. This is all the different examples put together in one script. So it's a demo. So first we are going to go to the demo site, and we are going to wait until the document is fully loaded. So this is another type of wait. And then we are going to fill the login details, and then the login causes navigation. So we are going to wait for the navigation to complete. So we are going to say wait until the network is idle. That means the network is quiet, the page is fully loaded, and now so that's what. So once you click the login button, we are going to wait for the page to navigate successfully to the home page or the next page. And after logging after successful login, it navigates to the products page, where the product page is loaded fully. So we again wait for the product page to load fully. So we are saying all the inventory in the page becomes visible. So we wait for this, and we use the class of the inventory list. And then we are checking that the number of items shown on the inventory items shown on the page to have 6. So we continue with the verification. And then we are adding the items to the cart, and then here again we are going to wait for the shopping cart badge to become visible. So you can see how this dynamic waits are in the script make the test more stable. And then finally we go to the cart page, and then you can carefully see here that we are adding a promise how this ad waits for the navigation to complete, and then we are waiting for the cart item locator to be visible. So now you see how we add waits only where it is needed, not everywhere. So there is no random sleep in the script, only smart waits based on the navigation, element state, and real behavior. So this is how strong automation engineers write stable tests. So if your Playwright tests are flaky, most of the time the problem is using a wrong waiting strategy. So remember the simple rules. Use auto wait first, and always wait for the navigation when the page changes, and wait for the elements instead of time, hard-coded time, or any other hard-coded variable, and always wait for the API responses when the data comes back from the backend. So thank you for watching this video. In the next lesson, we are going to talk about fixing flaky tests in the CI pipeline. So please like, share, and subscribe if this video helped you. Happy testing!